All right, bro. Let's see if we can play Last Epoch again, dude. Is this gonna convince me?
Why should you play Last Epoch? Well, let me tell you.
All right, go ahead.
In this video, we're going to be going over why you should play Last Epoch. It is coming out the 21st of February, and it's a game I've been following for a very long time. I first got approached by the CEO of Last Epoch in 2018, and they asked me if I would be willing to do a sponsored segment of the game and check it out. And if this is your first time seeing my content and you're unfamiliar with how I approach sponsorships, I asked him, can I say whatever I want about the game? So I want to make sure that I can always, well, frankly, roast the game if it's bad. And to this day, Judd had the best response of any game. They said, Ziz, if there's anything wrong with our game, you can roast it, because we want to make a good game, not just make a lot of money. So that was a great response, and I did, because frankly the game was very bad back then. But since then, the game has been growing exponentially, and every single time I come back, which is roughly every 3 to 6 months, the game has had so many wonderful changes. And now that we're coming up on launch, I wanted to make a video talking about all the good and the bad things of the game and why you should give it a try. And I'll start off by saying it is pretty much
There's a lot of skills and abilities that I see that look interesting and they're kind of flashy. But let's see like what is like really just kind of like stand out to me.
Perfect middle ground between Diablo 4 and Path of Exile. Path of Exile is often too complicated for a lot of people, where you feel like you need a PhD in order to just make a functioning build to play the game. And then you have Diablo 4, which is super accessible and good for couch co-op and things like that, but you do end up running out of content very fast, and maybe you feel like, I wish there was some more complexity that I could chew on. Last Epoch breaches that middle ground between the two games perfectly, where you do actually have quite a lot of stuff to do, and you feel like there is some cool stuff to figure out, but it's not as complicated as Path of Exile, and you can do builds on your own without following a build guide. So that's the quick TLDR, and also, it is very much the middle ground between Path of Exile being a free game and Diablo 4 being a $70 game, where Last Epoch is $35 with no in-game purchases other than cosmetics. That means that anything like stash tabs, like in Path of Exile, are things that you buy in-game for gold. It's not something you can spend money on. So $35 is all you're spending on the game. So now let's take a look at some features in the game.
Okay, we need that. We need that. I'm not trying to spend no money.
And explain what makes Last Epoch so cool. So like games you have already encountered, there are base classes, and they are a little bit more rigid than Path of Exile, and a little bit more similar of Diablo 4. They do have subclasses, so the Sentinel is the base class and that has Void Knight, Forge Guard, Paladin, etc. And we can go in-game to one of my characters, Zizabir the Druid. And what is really, really cool about Last Epoch is that each skill has its own skill tree. And this is actually very, very digestible. Okay. So while in Path of Exile, you are just like overwhelmed by a massive skill tree, here, everything is a little bit more condensed.
That shit is wild, bro. It'd be like, okay, where do I go?
So you have character skill trees. So this is the Primalist. So as a new player, these are all the nodes you need to look at, right? For your first 30 levels or something, pretty easy to go through and see what all of these do. A big relief is that respeccing is very accessible in this game. A large problem with Path of Exile is that respecs are very inaccessible to new players, and that's something I think Diablo 4 did very right, and Last Epoch does as well. And then later on, somewhere between like level 20 and 30, you will unlock a master class or ascendancy or subclass, and you can see that that also does not have an insane amount of things, so it's pretty easy to get a good grasp on what you want to do. And then you look over one skill at a time, and that has its own skill tree that will change the way the build works. For example, do I want to focus on having a lot of additional wolves instead of just one? Then you can make it so they have 4, 5, etc. wolves. And you can go a full summoner with summon Sabertooth and summon Bear, and then you go for wolves, and you can have like a total companion limit and run around with a bit of a zoo build. So you have so many choices. And same with like Maelstrom, you can make this be something very similar to Path of Exile's Blade Vortex build, and it's very, very cool. And it's been really easy to just make my own build and play around with it, even on hardcore. So you're a little less pigeonholed, and a part of that is the game is a little bit easier than Path of Exile. That's not to say that it doesn't have challenging endgame content, because there are things that are really hard, especially on hardcore, that I haven't yet done at the hardest level, and we can talk more about that later. Another thing I would like to showcase is Last Epoch's Invoker. If you're a Dota player, you're very familiar with Invoker, and the concept is basically, this is a character that has a large amount of skills in one skill. So it's very, very cool that you have like different runes or different other spells you can cast, and they will trigger a rune, and based on that, you can fire a different spell. Now, normally the way this would work is that if I'm casting 3 fireballs, I'd be getting 3 fire runes, and then my R would cast that as a different spell. However, I've actually done a skill point that locks them in to be the same 3 combos. So because I have my Frost Claw followed by Fireball followed by Frost Wall, it is going to do Cold, Fire, Cold, and then this Runic Invocation will actually give me a huge buff. So you have so much stuff that you can do there, and then I can actually just spam my Fireball, and I'm basically doing an Ignite proliferation thing. So you can see that anytime I'm hitting something, it'll proliferate the fire. So you have a lot of flexibility. And obviously with a skill such as this, there will be some things that are more powerful than others. And while it does have, I think it's 30 or 39 skills or something, there are like at least like 10 different ways to build that skill that are really viable.
Okay, no, that is cool as shit. So, bro, I need builds, bro. I need you guys to tell me like builds and stuff to like use and like different combinations, bro. All right. And then I just play him, bro. I just play him and I perform with him. All right, bro. Because if I come in here and just like start doing shit, all right, I'm just gonna just start like just experimenting stuff, and then
obviously,
of course, it's not gonna be as good.
all that needs to change for different skills to be viable are different balancing changes. So there are a lot of really cool skills there, especially visually appealing skills. Next up, I want to talk and explain a little bit about Last Epoch's item system, and something they do extremely well is that both drops and crafting is very exciting. It's very easy for a game to be very one-sided.
Okay, let's see about crafting.
You want.
I have no
So we
idea
will
about
use this axe as an example. So let's say that we want a character that wants a lot of void damage, and maybe we're doing a like melee void strike on a different character. Now you can see here that I have different options. The void damage is already tier 6, and I cannot naturally upgrade above tier 5. But I can see that the melee attack speed is a tier 1, so I can actually force to upgrade this. Each item has a different forging potential. That's how much crafting you can continue doing, and it tells me now it'll cost between 1 to 10 forging potential. I could also get very lucky and do a critical hit, which will cost 0 forging potential, and randomly upgrade one of the other mods that aren't tier 5 yet. And that system feels incredibly rewarding just here. The fact that I can choose exactly what to do, and if one of these were empty, I could actually choose whatever I want. So if it didn't already have frailty on melee hit, which is something that makes enemies a bit weaker, like it'll tell you on it by holding. So frailty reduces damage dealt by 6, and that could be a really good thing to have on hardcore. And I could just freely add this. You just choose to have this on the item, and it comes at the cost of some forging potential. But now, let's say that I want to upgrade the melee attack speed. I can use a glyph. We have a glyph of hope, which now is a 25% chance to have 0 forging potential lost. This is really, really good for endgame crafts, and not something you'll use during the campaign. But what if I don't want this to be melee attack speed at all? What if I'm really hoping for something else? I can now basically use this as a sort of mini chaos orb from...
Alright, it's too much, because I have no idea what's being said. Bro, I'm trying to focus, bro.
So now I go down.
I have a problem. Like, I cannot focus. Okay. Okay, this might help.
Watch that. Another really good selling point of the game, I did previously mention that respecking is very easy, and it is. So the more you level, there will be a minimum specialized level. So if I completely unspec out of this, it will go all the way to like, I believe, yeah, right now level 5, and later on that will get higher. So you will have like a minimum required level that it will start at when you get a new skill or when you respec entirely. And you have accelerated XP gain until you're caught up with your other skills. And if you don't want to start over completely, you can just remove 1 point entirely for free. And for your skill tree, you can just click on a point and remove it. So we can go here to Rune Master, and I can just like remove it for 140 gold. So it's actually very, very cheap and accessible to respec, which is a really good thing. The only downside is that currently you cannot switch if I've chosen Rune Master. I cannot unspec out of that and choose a sorcerer. So you really have to be careful when choosing your ascendancy. This is, in my opinion, a really big negative of the game and something that they should change and make it easier to switch between them so that you, especially as a new player, have a little bit more room to experiment. Maybe you didn't like the Rune Master after all and you really want to try a sorcerer. But if we're lucky, maybe we'll be allowed to respec between them in the future. Items in a lot of games can be big and...
Are you like forced to like re-roll a whole new character like if you choose like now it's like bro like it has more kind of like anxiety to it because it's like what do I really want to do? I don't want to just like go in and waste my time when I really don't know what class I want, but like I still want to like play and enjoy the game without lacking the potential I could have. Let's see. Yeah, because what happens if I get max level?
Now let's talk about the endgame content of Last Epoch. And it actually does have a pretty robust endgame. I would say it has more content than Diablo 4 and some really cool things to do. But this is also one of the weak points of the game. If you're coming from Path of Exile, it does not have as much content yet because, well, we are getting ready for the initial release of the game. However, they are going to have leagues and add endgame content. So very much looking forward to see what they're going to do here. But first, let's go over what the endgame content is in the game. So here you can see different islands. You start off here and you have a little 58 area, which is very similar to where you are when you're finishing the campaign. And you have something called the Monoliths of Fate. And you will be on one of these islands. And later on, you will have a normal zone, which is 58, 66, then 70, etc. And later, you will have area level 100 monoliths. These are like high level endgame things. But let's go look at the normal one. And here you can see that there are loads of different islands. And here you have a lot of different player agency on what type of content you want to see. So what if I really want like exalted helmets? That would be like helmets with tier 6 or tier 7 mods on them. Then I'll be looking for that. And these will be more available in the endgame ones. But even early, you can see like here, I'm getting piles of gold. Here, I'm getting affix shards. Here, I'm getting glyphs. And there will be others with runes, others that have a guaranteed unique. These have guaranteed rare helmets, etc. And you're basically going through them similar as a map in Path of Exile, a little similar as a rift in Diablo, where you're going through the area and you're just killing some simple monsters. There's nothing crazy in depth here. It's just a nice and enjoyable grind, and you're building up something called timeline stability. As this increases, you can see that you're going past different thresholds, and once you've reached the third one, you can do all these quests here at the side, which are static encounters. It'll be sort of like a mission. So here you'll maybe have to do some mini bosses here, and here you have an actual endgame boss that will be a little bit more beefy, and they have their own loot table similar to other games that you might have played. And then once you've finished doing one, you get to choose unlocking one or
I gotta do them alone. Oh my god, bro! Like I need a build that's gonna like be beefy. Then like, bro, I need something that's gonna like get the job done every time.
Unlocking the other, and you get a buff. So the buff that I've chosen here, and this affects all the stuff, all the other monoliths I've got, I now have a 13% increased drop rate. And now I have the choice, do I want to unlock the Black Sun or the Stolen Lance? So sort of like slightly easier, slightly harder. And then you do want to obviously unlock everything eventually because you do get these blessings. So this is increased helmet drop rate. This is increased dodge rating. This is increased chance to hit. So you can sort of choose to buff your character through these as well, or you can get increased loot drops. They have sort of targeted loot. For example, the Black Sun focuses more on helmet drops, and the Ending of the Storm might focus on others. The only one I do know is the Black Sun because that's what I've been farming the most to try to get a unique helmet that I designed in the game. On top of this, you do have endgame dungeons that there are keys for. So here is one of the dungeons. This is Lightless Arbor, and
you can design your own helmets. Okay, bro. All right, I'm gonna design a helmet that gives you what? Okay, hold on. I'm bad at this. I'm bad. Okay, hold up. Brain blast. Okay, I'm gonna have a helmet that it'll have like like plus 50 hit plus 5 800 max health or some shit. And then the effects will be like um when you hit an enemy, when you hit an enemy, um or when an enemy hits you. Okay, that's too OP. That's too OP. Wait. Hold up. Wait, bro. Chill. Okay. It's gonna be okay, chill. Okay. So I'm gonna have a lot of AoE abilities already. So it's gonna be when I hit an enemy with an AoE, then boom, it's gonna instantly strike down an electric attack from the sky and create a pool on the ground that that does, and the pool does, like, of course, damage over time and causes like stacks on the enemy, and then those stacks will then like have like maybe like 80 stacks, and then like maybe once it reaches like 20 stacks, it'll spread to like adjacent units. Oh my god, I'm cooking. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm cooking, bro. Hold up. Oh my God. Yeah. No, I don't have plug. No, bro. Hold up. I deleted it. Bro, I always be deleting like the good shit. No. What happened? What happened, bro? It's not even supposed to be it. We'll play a video while I find it.
This is the dungeon that is a gold sink. So you have different tiers of the dungeons. So you can do 1, 2, 3, or 4. 4 is really, really hard. And I believe you have to have done the tier before to unlock it. Oh yeah, I need to light the kindling. That's it. It's been a while since I've done this. I need to light the kindling. There. Then we're burning that.
Oh, global, what's good, bro? Bro, my fault, dude. You didn't see nothing. I have to find that shit again, bro. How does that not happen? My sounds be. They be doing that to me all the time, bro. Like what the fuck, man?
I'm a minion build, so they're just killing everything else. It's kind of Arcali's Fang. This is the helmet that I designed for last Epoch. Pretty happy with it. The fight's more like you have to survive and then burn it.
Oh, well, we'll do it later.
There.
We'll do it later, bro. Cause I'm not gonna try and like. That's gonna take me. Word.
And then we have insane damage. Cool. Alright. Fight done. Now this is the easy version of the fight. Oh, I haven't seen that before.
Peak of the mountain.
Health. Wow, that's a lot of crit chance. I guess that's new. So now we can go into the vault, and this is the main part of the mechanic. So now we can say yes or no to different chests. Like, do we want a chest that drops several idols? No, we don't. Do we want a chest that drops a rare item, an exalted item, and a unique, and a set item? Sure, that sounds good. A unique weapon? Don't really care. And you see that it goes up in price. Drops an exalted helmet, exalted body armor. Oh, cool. Let's do that. Glyph of Despair to all chests. So now the more chests that we've accepted, the more Glyph of Despair we got. 45% more items, and it is multiplicative. Glyph of Despair to all chests again. Okay. And then duplicates all item from random chest. Now, I'm going to stop now because I don't want to use all my currency. And we can't click decline.
All of them.
Oh. I didn't know it would go that much down in price. Decline. 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 Sure. So you can like play around and gamble, and it will cost like more and more gold. Cliff of Despair. Several exalted items. That's an additional exalted item to all chests. Okay, we'll do that. And then now we'll enter vault, and you can basically choose how much gold are you going to put in. So this means that this is a really good thing where you maybe want to have like a lot of gold saved up, and you go for 1 giga run. And that's a
What the fuck? He's got like little rats or like fucking gerbils and shit.
really
Bro, it looked like little like raccoons or like squirrels or some shit.
cool thing as a sink. And now you can see we'll get a little bit of a loot explosion, even though I didn't use a large amount of gold, and you can see some crazy explosions. And some of these could be really good, and you would generally look through and see if there's any of the items that you need. But I think it's a pretty cool thing for a game to have. I think gold sinks are really important for a game, and that is pretty much the Lightless Arbor dungeon. Next up, we have the Temporal Sanctum. And
Okay, well this is like all late game stuff. So game dungeons, bidding. Okay, pretty good. I can't lie. We'll give it a try, bro. And we'll see if we like it, because like the original, like the game is like fully releasing in like 10 days, so it's like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay, on the 21st it is, so like 9 days. So let's go, bro. We might actually play it then, so we'll give it some more time, and we'll just play it when we get bored, like Throne and Liberty. There's nothing to do in Throne and Liberty, and then we'll hop on Last Epoch. But yeah, we'll go ahead and play right now, bro. We'll go ahead and play right now, and yeah, appreciate you guys for watching this video. We might just dive into it, and yeah, hope to see you guys there. And I'm gonna need builds, bro. I'm gonna need builds and help. You guys gotta come through and recommend your builds. I will be accepting backseating, bro. Like, hey, I'm down. I didn't get a chance to play like Diablo 4 or fucking shit, what's the other one, whatever. I didn't get to play a lot of them. I just skipped them. The only one I really played was like, bro, back in the day when I was a kid, like, bro, like Diablo 2 and shit. So yeah, I will be needing help, and trying to make builds and shit. So appreciate you guys for watching, and yeah, thanks for tuning in, bro. I'll see y'all